I'm Jeff Cornwall, and this is the Entrepreneurial Mind. Today, my guest is David Head with DesignLive. We'll be back to talk with him after this. Welcome, David.
Hey.
So you and I have been working together for a while. You were a student in our program, and you were doing, at first, web development kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember you coming in, and one of your concerns was, it's great, but it's a billable hour. It's not scalable, and you wanted to do something that could grow. And that's when you came up with your new concept. And so talk about what DesignLive does.
Yeah, so DesignLive is it's on-demand help for Squarespace right now.
All right, and Squarespace is?
Squarespace is it's a do-it-yourself web builder tool. So
right. And probably the most popular one in the market now, isn't it?
Yeah, they're kind of all clustered together, but Squarespace is definitely one of the top ones.
Right.
Yeah.
So you help business owners, aspiring business owners, hobbyists, whoever is trying to do their own website, and what happens? They get stuck?
Yeah. So inherently everyone who works to launch a website on these platforms is going to encounter a few road bumps in the process. And
there's not really a manual that says do this and do that.
Not really. I mean, it teaches you how to use the tool, but the thing is there's a lot that goes into a website that you have to think through down to like the bottom line of your business. And that's not something that is easily translatable into like a universal DIY website tool. So when it comes to how to position the page to market to a certain customer group, people, they know how to manipulate the elements, but they don't know the right way to manipulate them, if that makes sense.
So how did you see this as an opportunity? Where did this what was your aha moment with this thing?
With DesignLive, so I was originally designing sites on Squarespace platform because I actually I had a business previous to designing where I actually struggled with the website. I liked the web design process, but I found that it was just really a lot tougher than I expected to get my business launched online. And I considered myself a pretty tech savvy person, so I figured if it's causing me this much trouble, then it's got to be causing a lot of other people a lot more trouble, assuming that I'm higher on the tech savvy spectrum,
right,
which is questionable. But yeah, so it was kind of a combination of like really liking the web design and then just phasing the first business out because long term I wanted to go tech, and the first business wasn't tech. So I started doing the web design thing and helping people that were like myself because I understood the problem there. I knew it was a need, and I just figured this need's going to continue because the way I saw it is that more and more people are going to want to launch their own business and be independent contractors or what have you. So to come full circle with the story, the way I figured out DesignLive was I had this feeling kind of in my gut. I didn't really know what the solution was, but I knew there was a big fundamental problem with this DIY tool for the reasons that I just listed. And I had a lot of people reaching out to me every single day. I'd get an email that would say, hey, I'm in the middle of this part in my Squarespace site and I can't seem to get this piece of code in, or it doesn't look professional. Can I just get a little professional polish? And I literally used to send out these emails to people. And I never
basically consulting with your friends for free, pretty much, or were these clients, or both?
Oh, who were sending me emails?
Right.
It was just all inbound leads.
Okay, so these are clients.
Yeah, these are all potential clients, and I mean the thing that I and every other Squarespace designer out there did was we just would archive the emails. Because it's right. I mean, right. The business model of an agency is fundamentally it doesn't provide, an economic incentive to do
Right.
that. That's why you have a sales qualification process.
So by archive, you mean pretty much ignore them.
Exactly.
Right.
And I was literally in that same scenario, 3 years prior,
Right.
the one being ignored. So I was like, man, there just has to be something here. And so I kept looking for it, and it's actually like, oddly enough, like a lot of the leads came from my friend Jake Jorgavan, who's a Belmont alum. His videos, a lot would come through he had a lot of YouTube videos showing how to do something on Squarespace, and he would route them to me, and I just wanted to figure something out with him. I didn't know what, and he was running a consulting company. At the time, he was doing a lot of consulting, and he just experimented with one of them and met the lady in Colorado where he lived. I was like, hey man, I just charged like, for him, he was billing at a pretty high rate at the time. He's like, hey, I just charged like $200 an hour, which is pretty high, but
Right.
did it with her. Originally was going to spend 2 hours. She wanted to go for 4 hours because they just would knock out so much stuff together. And I thought, well, if he did that in person, what if I did that over a screen share? And because like the speed at which you can move on a DIY tool like Squarespace is so fast that as far as building the website goes, that I tried it, and it was like I was literally building entire websites in like 4 hours or 6 hours that would get drawn out over weeks, and I would bill $2,500 plus for
Right.
and I was charging $150 an hour, which would come out to like $600-$900, which as an hourly rate you'd say, oh, that's expensive, but I was sacrificing a lot higher of a potential opportunity there for.
So now, as you start to scale this, you've got a bunch of people that do what you did, and help people, but instead of doing it face to face, it's through screen shares and is it just audio beyond that, or is there video as well?
No, full video. So it's like face to face. I mean, they start the screen share, they see each other, interact with each other. It's extremely personal. It's like having a friend right next to you who knows the platform.
Now, to get this launched, I know you guys have done a boatload of bootstrapping to make this work. That, first of all, is that by necessity or by design?
A little bit of both. My personal belief is that you're going to have a better business bootstrapping than you are going to have one with venture capital from the outset. You're just constraints produce creativity. By nature, so financial constraints are going to produce creativity to make a more solid business model, et cetera. So when we do decide, okay, this is solid, let's scale it up, we'll have something that's really.
So it's not instead of raising money, it's to get you better prepared to raise the right money at the right time.
I'd say so, yeah. Like that. That's really how we're thinking about it. 'Cause we could probably raise right now, but it just doesn't seem like the right time.
Well, tell you what, let's have you back after you raise, you get ready to raise some money, because that, I think, will be a fascinating next chapter in the story.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks.